anywhere. So yeah, I've been able to be here, do some painting, do some other things. So it's been really good. It goes with my word for the year, do. So it's very good. And it has helped me to not feel so, trapped. It's funny because we're all kind of trapped at this point in time. So, but it helps me to not feel so trapped. And oh, we're back. Ever since really people started staying home, this keeps happening when I do the lives. This didn't happen before everybody in the nation was home. It just cuts out and I just pause and then I'll start back up where I was. So hopefully at least the replay will be uninterrupted. So anyways, sometimes I think being creative can be a mental escape. So I think that's great for the time that we are having this slow season. And thinking of slow, creativity is a slow game. I mean, it's not something that you're going to get the benefits from it just doing it one time. You're going to get lost my train of thought because we paused the video because we didn't pause it. It stopped. It's a slow game. There's a process that goes on in creating, and it doesn't happen fast. There's literally time that has to go by. Sometimes some things can go quick, but some of the more meaningful and bigger things that we do. There's a quote from Tim Harford, who said, "Creativity often comes when you take an idea from its original context and you move it somewhere else. It's easy to get out of the box if you spend your time clambering from one box into another." So he's saying that if you want to, hey Rose, if you want to think outside of the box, okay, we're back. So outside the box, you've got to get outside the box. So get out of the box. So what does that mean? We have boxes in our lives. Like I have a mom box and I have a job box. I have a church box. I have, parts of my life, and like the mom box can like take over everything. And in order for me to be able to think better and solve problems and to do better, then I need to get out of the mom box sometimes. I need to go do something else. I need to be creative in some other way. I need to go do something. Getting outside the box. It can be topic driven too, where I'm thinking about only the fabric collection. So then it's like, oh, I can think about that. And then when I get stuck, I'm only still stuck in the fabric box. So I have to get out and do the creativity lessons that I'm doing, or the business class that I'm doing for the women, or, other topic. And contents of what you're doing, switch context of being younger as a student that might help my kids when I'm, when they're still going to school. So, getting a different perspective, going and helping or living somewhere else with somebody else, talking to other people. So get outside your normal boxes. And then another thing is to be able to try different things, your different interests. Okay, we're back. Okay, so indulge all your interests. That's another thing. Research has shown that those who contribute a lot to society and to research, scientists, those kinds of people, tend to switch things that they're doing. They get outside that box. They have another interest, another thread that leads them along, and they indulge in that interest. So we can indulge in that interest. And I know you're thinking, well, a lot of times I say stay in your own lane. When I mean stay in your own lane, I mean don't be looking around at what everybody's doing. Hey, Trisha. Trisha says connection is mostly out today. I know. It keeps going in and out, and it started ever since everybody started coming home. And I think everybody in this nation, all over the world probably, is online. So I'll just stop and then jump back in when it comes back on. So I say pick a lane a lot of times. But that, that doesn't mean that you can't switch lanes, like get outside the box, get outside that lane, go down that lane, because you're still going in the same direction. You're still having the same end goal. And like I said, creativity is a slow process. You're going to use creativity all your life in all your lanes. But just don't put it in reverse and go against traffic. And don't be looking around what other people are doing and looking in their cars while you're supposed to be going ahead. So the idea is that you can indulge a lot of interest, because there's a wait period sometimes in the creative process where ideas have to percolate and ideas have to sit there, and you won't know how to proceed, or you haven't even heard what's going to help to have that idea move forward yet. So there's a lot of things and a lot of wisdom in the process to switch lanes, to do some different things, get outside that box. So and I wanted to point out Charles Darwin. He did the slow process of creativity, and he jumped from thing to thing. And when I was researching this, I was like, oh, this made me feel a little bit better, because I will jump from thing to thing. It's like sewing and painting and writing and doing these things. And what I found from Darwin helped me. So when he was 18, he came out and started studying two fields of zoology and geology, and he was really interested in those. But then he went on to a ship for 5 years that traveled around, I don't know where, I can't remember. But he was on that ship, and when he was on the ship, when he went different places, he studied the coral reefs. And so he did that on that 5-year journey on the ship. And then when he came back, he started psychology, and he started studying that. And then he went to botany, and he started that. And then he went to study earthworms, and he had earthworms in his home, and he would like blow smoke at them, play music for them, all in this effort to see and experiment and to try to see what would happen with them, and in this process of this interest that he had. And then he went to economics, and then he had a son, and he studied human development, and he did all these things in the process. He didn't publish anything, like his son's born, and a year later he published a paper. He published a book on human development when his son was 37 years old, which totally makes more sense to me that you actually gone through the process. I mean, like I said, I mentioned in one of my previous videos, somebody's published a marriage book, and they have been married 6 years. And I'm sure there's value in it, but I think that somebody who's been married like 36 years might have a little bit more value to add to marriage. Rose says, that's me exactly. I am constantly changing from project to project. Yeah, and I think that this is a good topic because it kind of validates us a little bit for that creative process. Like there is an incubation period. There is a natural thread that we go through when we study and learn. Like, I have creativity. I want to start a business. So then it takes me on a business journey. And so, but the time that it takes for the outcome of some of these things is a very long time. Darwin, from our standards, that's a lifetime. It's a lifetime. So he didn't, the book was, his son was 37 years old. The Origin of Man took 20 years to write and then publish. And he worked on the earthworms in research for 44 years. And I think there was a book published there. I mean, we don't do that in this day and age. It's like, hit it, ship it, go. But I think there's real value, maybe not waiting 44 years, but, there's value in indulging your interest and letting the slow process happen, letting the slow creative process happen. Everything fast. I noticed, and I was doing this business, my turnaround time for my projects is 1 to 2 years, meaning I'll do a project, so I'll do projects, say, for Valentine's Day this year and use it, and then I won't put it out there until next year. And because I let myself live the creative process, like I'm doing something, now, and then I will share For me, it's a slow game. In today's standards, that's really slow to put something out 1 or 2 years. Like I have a Valentine's got to put out. That's the problem, is forgetting. And so it's a slow process, and you have to kind of know how your process works. And so knowing, Rose, that you jump from project to project is not a bad thing. You're just switching lanes as you're going road. Okay, another thing, let's see. 2 other things. Darwin kept all of his notes, guess what? In a notebook. So I hope you guys are keeping an idea notebook, keeping your ideas somewhere. Twyla Thorpe, how she takes care of her ideas is that she gets a cardboard box and she writes on the side of the cardboard box what the project is, and she will put everything she comes across that's going to inspire her or inform her on this topic in this box. So then she never forgets it. She never worries about, oh, I'm going to forget this idea. She puts it in this box. So that helps in the idea of all these different interests you have. You know, maybe like Rose, maybe you would do a bag for each project, and, you know, just something so that it keeps all these projects from like, okay, we're back. So I forgot what I was saying, but the idea is to remember about your idea notebook. Angie Hicken, hi. So I have 10 blank books. Keep the ideas there, then I don't have to worry. So to wrap it up, get outside. You know, to think outside the box, you have to get outside the box. And in getting outside of the box, you can indulge some different interests